Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another podcast of the Top Figure Podcast. Before we start, right, I want you guys to take a screenshot of this, share it on your social media, tag us at Team Top Figure, and we'll repost you guys. But before we get into it, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, topfigureacademy.com. Go to Top Figure Academy. This is the number one academy for building your brand online. We show you guys the exact blueprint of how to scale a store from zero to as much as you want. So go ahead and check out topfigureacademy.com and build your online brand. But with that being said, I want to welcome our guest today, Mr. Akeem Akway in the building.
Welcome.
What up? What up? What up? What's good?
welcome. So yeah, we're gonna get right into it. Akeem, if you want to give yourself a quick intro for those of you guys that don't know that don't know you and that never heard of you, you're pretty popular here in the city of Minneapolis.
Yeah.
So
All
give 'em a
around,
quick
too.
intro.
Okay, Akeem Akway. I'm a master barber, Timberwolves barber, Vikings barber, business owner.
Yep.
We got two locations, one in Mounds View, and then we just opened our second location in Uptown, Minnesota.
Congrats on that, by the way.
Congratulations on that.
That's
That's
what's up.
not
It's,
easy.
it's always good seeing another fellow brother just winning, man. That's just something we want to just keep commending people to just, celebrate each other's successes. You know what I mean? Like, because ultimately, all our communities, we want to keep sharing the growth and the success of our people, So that's great to see that, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, so let's get right into it. So pretty much like so what's your backstory, right? You weren't born in America, so like your backstory, like your deep backstory. Today they're gonna know everything.
They don't know everything.
Yeah.
Yo.
So I was born in Gambela, Ethiopia. It's right there next to Sudan, South Sudan. We came to America in the year 2000. I was probably like 9 years old.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, when you come from Africa, that's like the trenches,
The
trenches.
trenches, yo.
Yeah.
So we came here. My brother was already here. He came in '98, so then he did the paperwork and brought the rest of the family here
Mhm.
in 2000. And we came here and we went straight to North Minneapolis. That's the trenches
So
here.
you
Yeah.
went straight to
Yeah.
yep, you went
One
straight
trench
to-
to another trench.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yep.
but it's different. Like
Yep.
here, like public housing, like you still get water. You got
Mhm.
electricity, so it's different.
Yeah, no,
Um, Yeah, so then we lived over there, over north for like maybe 3 to 4 years, and then I moved to Fridley, Minnesota, which is kind of like the suburbs, and went to Fridley Middle School, high school, and all that.
Mhm.
But and then after that, I went straight to barber school out of high school, and that's where I began my career.
Wow, that's super. That's a very impressive background, especially like a lot of immigrants don't get enough credit because the transition from like coming to Africa and coming to a country where you don't speak like any
Yeah,
English, you
yeah.
don't know anybody, like it's like starting from ground zero, and especially like at the younger age, it was probably harder. Like even us, understand learning a new language,
Yeah, yeah.
like meeting new people, and
Yeah.
it's like different people, So
Nah.
how was that?
Man, that was hard. So when I first came, obviously I didn't know the language, so I was like really shy in school. But yo, funny story. So when I was going to school over north, one time I used to get in a fight. You know how you get roasted for being
Yeah.
dark skinned and shit
Yeah.
like that. So I was getting roasted. Kids calling you African booty scratcher,
Yeah.
super black, shit like that. And then so you can't keep fighting everybody for calling you black or shit like that,
Right, it just get too much.
Yeah, yeah. So I think one time I came to a realization like, yo, they actually telling the truth. I am black. I'm not gonna keep fighting everybody. So that was like a wake up call. Like, yo, you gonna get clowned for something. you
Yeah.
know? So why not just like start embracing your skin tone and shit like that?
100%.
No,
Yeah.
that's super important, especially like what's been going on in Minneapolis. We're on the front of the scene for the you know, what
The big
happened
racial,
with
yeah,
racial
yeah.
injustice and everything that's been happening. So, you know,
Exactly.
that's very important that you're embracing like your culture. You know, a lot of
Yeah.
people are shy of like where they're from and their
Yeah.
background, and that's something I really never got. You know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
like you gotta embrace who you are. So, I
Yeah.
mean, that's super important. So, go ahead, going into like straight from high school to barbering school. That's not
Mhm.
something a lot of people just do.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
not something too common. And you know, and we could all go ahead and say this. You were one of the first people to kind of make barbering cool.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
to
yeah.
make it like the cool
Yeah,
thing. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I'm be honest. So it was
Yeah.
like, how was it that you went straight from high school into barbering school rather than going to normal college or taking
Yeah.
a normal route?
Yeah, so when I was cutting, so I was cutting my basketball teammates. I was on the varsity team at Fridley High School. So what we would do, I would cut the guys' hair after practice. And one day, Star Tribune came and did a story on our basketball team because we started off to a good record. And the reason why we were doing so well was I was like the chemistry, the glue of the team. Because most guys would just go to practice and go get in trouble after school. But instead, I was like in the locker room cutting their hair. We're staying out of trouble and stuff like that. So, Star Tribune came and did a story on the team, and the when the story came out, I got a lot of positive reviews. Like, yo, that kid is actually really good at cutting hair. Maybe he should pursue barbering after high school. And reading that, like, I knew I was good, but when other people start telling you how good you are,
Yeah.
then it's like maybe you should
should.
really do it. So I just took what people was telling me, like, yo, you should actually pursue barbering, and then so I always kind of say like barbering chose me. Like I didn't really like
Shoot that.
yeah. So then I went to straight to barber school after that. After people were telling me should do it, especially because like you said, barbering wasn't cool. Like when I went to barber school, I was 18. It was mainly barbering is kind of looked at like a second, like a backup.
Yeah.
Like because when I was in barber school, it was a lot of like ex felons, guys straight from prison. They're trying to get back on their feet.
Yeah.
They're trying to get their life back together. So when I was there, I was like, me and one of my friends named Thack, we were the youngest barbers there. We was 18, so older cats they'll just try to give us game and stuff like that. Like, man, if I could do it all over again, I would have went straight to barbering at 18 and not wait till I'm like 30 or so a lot of guys they looked at us like, damn, they're making smart decisions by jumping on it early. And eventually that's what I kind of want to do. Like you said, we made it cool to become a barber, and that's I want that to be my plans one day, to where I could go to high school like job fairs and shit like that, and tell kids like, yeah, because nobody came to my high school and told me you could be a barber.
But
know?
you see the army people in the
Yeah,
military every
yeah.
day.
So if you see college like U of M, they'll send people over there, and Concordia, all these colleges, they'll send people to high school. But I never seen a barber come to a high school and say, "Hey, come to barber
Come
school."
to barber school.
So that's so that's why that's gonna be my next goal eventually.
That's pretty big, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Especially representation is key, especially like in school. People don't normally see people of our not only skin tone, just be
Yeah.
able to like, all right, I can relate to this person. I can relate to this person, and I seen the success he's been able to achieve, and I can see that for myself.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, that's huge, because a lot of people tend to just go into something because they're like, all right, it makes money. Okay, that's
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? But like, to see somebody doing it at like a pretty big level, that's dope. And young people are giving them more avenues is so real now, that
So
more
real.
than ever.
Huge.
Yeah.
It's game changing because like when we were starting entrepreneurship, that was not the cool thing,
Yeah,
and now everybody is like, they're just, I always tell everybody like, follow your passion,
Yeah, yeah,
follow like what you're good at, follow like what you're, because you have to like something
Yeah.
to a certain level, or else you're not going to do it for free. And at the
Exactly.
beginning, you have to give time, because you're not going to get a lot of money at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So
100%.
like going
Yeah.
into like barbering that you were talking about, like the newcomers don't like get as booked right away. They're not
Yeah.
like as popular right
Yeah,
away,
yeah, yeah.
So what are some advice for like people who are, trying to get into barbering, or like are just pursuing it, and it's just the beginning is tough, it's
Yeah.
not easy.
like you
Getting
just
their name out
yeah,
there.
like you just said, it got to be something you like at first too. Cause when I was starting out, like you could do like I was cutting my homeboys for like $5. Are you willing to do that? You know it.
Mm.
So if because most guys they'll come in the game just looking at the dollar amount they could get out of it. And with barbering is one thing I respect about barbering is you get what you put in. If you're not at the shop, you're not gonna make money. So a lot of
100%.
guys they'll maybe just because it's cool right now to be a barber, they'll just want to become barbering. But if it's not, and like you're not making money, if it's slow, they start to leave the shop. You know, you're not putting in the real groundwork. You're not gonna get booked out. So,
Wow.
so it's like one thing about barbering, you can't cheat it. You
can't
know?
cheat the hustle. You
So,
can't-
so when they see me booked out like 3 weeks, or a month booked out, it just didn't come overnight. You know, like
Ooh.
it's like all the groundwork I've put in, working at Damien Sports Barbershop and all these other shops is now paying off. I just looked up on my Instagram page the other day. Like I haven't posted a haircut picture in like a couple months. I just post my lifestyle, but I noticed that because like when I started out, I used to post haircut pictures all the time. But I made it to where I'm at a point where I don't even gotta really
And you're
post
still
haircuts
booked.
Yeah,
anymore.
'cause-
And I'm still booked out.
Yeah, because it's credibility and like
Yes.
people. Because the thing about barbering is like once you cut my hair nice,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna keep coming
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
I'm not going
Word of
anywhere.
mouth,
you
you
know,
know?
word of mouth.
But
you know,
what I would advice I would give to the young guys is you could post all you want, but if you're not in that barbershop, it's not gonna add up, you know. So I'd say spend a lot of time in the barbershop. And nowadays it's easy. Like you could learn from watching YouTube. You know, it's just way easier than when I was coming up. You know, so I would say just be in the barbershop, be there early, take every walk in that comes in. You know, and just promote crazy on social media. Hashtag, you know. So that's the fastest way I could say, but really there's no shortcuts in barbering. You just
Yeah.
gotta work on your craft. And like I was talking to my friend Henry on Twitter yesterday, and he still does like designs for free just because he got the passion for it, you know. But a lot of guys aren't willing to go in on their off day and do a design and promote that design for free, you know.
Yeah.
But if you're willing to just even like do a free cut for somebody and like promote it, like that shows that you're
truly
serious.
passionate.
Yeah, you're truly passionate about it, you know. So if you're not willing to do that, then I don't know if this is the right career for you.
wow, that's super important.
Yeah.
And that goes into like our next thing right now. So the price of haircuts has like tripled over like the last 2 years. Like it's at like an all-time high right now.
Yeah.
And you know, I think you have a big part to play in that. You know, you play a big
Yeah.
part in why a lot of the barbers are like upcharging now, and it's not a $10 haircut anymore. It's not a $15 haircut anymore.
I'm gonna make. I told my girl I'm gonna make shirts that says haircuts aren't $20 anymore.
and and you can really like you champion that in the state of Minnesota and like all around, like just because you changed it from just it's a haircut to it's a service that it's value, like your value and your brand speaks for itself now.
Yeah.
It's not
Like-
just the haircut no more.
Yeah, like I was like my girl was telling me like men like we only gotta worry about like haircut like once or twice a month, you know. Yo, with women they gotta do eyelashes,
Eyelashes,
eyebrows,
nails.
getting
Nails,
waxed,
it's so
nails,
much.
hair, and they spend over like $300 to $500 a month.
Minimum.
But men, we over here, y'all complaining about y'all complaining about $40, $60 haircuts. So, like we gotta change that.
We gotta
So it's
change that.
It just comes down to do you care about your appearance, you know?
100%.
So a lot of guys, I think they're starting to like 60 is not a lot if you care about how you look, you know, because you want quality at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Now, where some barbers get it mixed up is like, don't think you could just charge that and you're not booked out. You know? I'm able to do that because I see like the demand.
The
is there
demand,
for it, you know?
supply and demand.
Yeah, so a lot of guys, they if you only book like for the day, you shouldn't be trying to charge $50. You know, because
Okay.
they could just go to
Another
person,
one,
you know.
literally.
So it's just the supply and demand. You
Yeah.
know?
No.
And that's the fundamentals in business. Like a lot of people don't understand. Like you done went through you're not just a barber. You're also a businessman.
Businessman.
You know.
That's what we're gonna get into next. You know, so
Yeah.
I want to get into like more of the business side now, not just barbering, right? Because you do own your multiple shops now. You know, you've been doing this for a long time. So the beginning of your first shop you opened, right? What was, because this show we're big on marketing. So what was your marketing strategy behind, you know, trying to get that place booked out, trying to get a lot of people in there? Because you wouldn't just move to another location if that was not doing well, you know. So what was like the marketing strategy that people could take and apply to their different businesses or whatever they have? Because marketing is the heartbeat to every business. A lot of people don't understand. If you don't market, you don't get customers, you don't get money, right?
So when I first opened, like 2015, a lot of barbershop owners, they're stuck in the old school way, you know. I was 24 years old, so I was young. You know? Social media was our thing, so I came in the game. Instagram was just taking off, you know. Facebook was at the heights of it. So I'm like, I got a camera, and it's like, cause I used to do films and stuff like that, so I was already good with like visuals. So I'm like, when I take this picture, I think I seen some of your one of your podcasts when you was talking about presentation is everything. You know? So that's like the motto I go by. You know, if I take this picture of this client and it's out there, like it gotta be presented like the right way.
Right
you know?
way.
So like I'll see barbers taking a picture of the cut and the cape still got hair all on it.
Yeah.
You know, like the client got hair
Hair
on
on
their
their
face. It's
face.
like, yo, brush that person off, like make it neat, have the right lighting, the right angle. And you know, once it's on social media, it's gonna be floating everywhere. You know, it's gonna get reposted and all that. So a lot of old school barbershop owners didn't know that part of the game. They were stuck in the here's my business card. Like, bro, I don't even got a business card anymore. Everything is
Digital.
online.
It's
You know? So it's like I think that's one thing I really paid attention to is like social media, pictures, videos, and that kind of took my shop to a different direction. That's how we kind of like blew up fast. And on top of that, I try to target the young popular high school kids. 'Cause, you know, they control like everything. The youth controls everything.
Control,
You
how
know,
things move.
like the other day my guy was at the barbershop. He said, why do we say we don't like this new rap music or whatever, or they suck? But he was like, maybe it's just not for our ears anymore. It's a whole nother like a lot of young kids listen to NBA YoungBoy. That don't mean it's like just because I don't like it, that don't mean it's bad music.
Yeah.
It's not music for me.
Perspective.
You know?
It's different
Yeah,
perspectives.
different perspective. So that's how it kind of was with barbering, you know. So it's like I try to attack the youth because they control whatever is hot. You know, NBA YoungBoy is hot. I don't listen to it, but them young kids do. You know, and there's way more of them than me. So what I did with barbering was I would cut like popular guys in high school like Gary Trent Jr., Trey Jones, you know, Ty Jones, and all those guys, and you know they'll put me on their social media, and before you know it, being the popular kid in high school, like all the other kids want to be like you, you know. So if they see Trey Jones got cut by Akeem Akway, now
like,
the other
I'll get the
guys,
guy.
you know, Dre gets cut by Akeem Akway. Now everybody
It's just a
else
spiral
comes-
effect now.
It's
Everybody
just-
getting cut by
yeah,
Akeem
so
now.
I would say if you try to get the youth, because they're the one that control the market, you know, and they control the wave, whatever is hot, you know, they're in charge of that. So that's a couple of the things that I did with my barbershop. We focus on high schoolers and social media platform.
Okay, super important.
That's a key right there. You might want to listen to it if you're listening. Like, you know what I mean? Marketing is everything. It's the heartbeat to your business, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what's up, man.
Yeah. No, and going on to like the next thing. So now you just mentioned you're cutting up like celebrities and things like that. So how'd you get like connected with majority of them? You know, you cut up some big names, you know, and it's they have lots of other barbers to go to, like so many options, you know. So what specifically made them like contact you, or you know, try to come to your shop, or try to get a cut by you. You know.
Yeah. So when I first started out, it was 2014. One of my homegirls, she was working at the club, and the Vikings. It was like training camp, and the new rookies, they go to the clubs and stuff like that. And she handed them my number, and then his name is Jarek McKinnon. He was playing for the Vikings, like backup for Adrian Peterson. And he texted me randomly like, "Yo, I got your number from this girl. Can you come cut me up?" I went and cut him up, and the next day he told me like everybody was feeling his haircut in the locker room.
Yep,
And
yep.
Next thing I know, Jabari Price, Anthony Barr, all these other Vikings just texting me. I'm like, damn, it was that easy.
Yeah.
I just had to get my foot in
It
the
was a
door.
fire ass haircut.
Took off.
Mm-hmm.
So but that comes from always believing in yourself. Like I believe I'm good at cutting hair. That's not even like a question. Like so once I believe that, I can never be like nervous when I'm cutting these guys, because a lot of people ask me like, do you get nervous
When you
cutting
cut up a
these
celebrity or a superstar.
Yeah, I'm like, nah.
It's just a
Shit
regular
I do.
person, right?
Regular. Yup.
But once I cut Jarek McKinnon,
It was-
that's my homeboy for real. Then all the other Vikings came, and then I cut Tyus Jones from the Timberwolves, and he started telling all the other guys about me or whatever, and then Jamal Crawford, Karl Anthony Towns, all this. Cat one time told me, he said Tyus Jones was trying to keep me to himself because he was asking like, "Yo, who cuts your hair?" And
He's like, I can't tell you that.
Yeah. And Tyus wouldn't tell him. So the first time I cut Cat, he was like, "Yo, so you're the guy that cuts Tyus?" Like,
I've been
I've
trying
been
to find
asking
you.
Yeah. So all the Timberwolves, and last year, I don't know if it was this year or last year, me and Cat worked on a project to where I was able to kind of like tell the Timberwolves, so let's open up a shop in the practice facility. Now I got access to the practice facility with my thumb. I could just go in there.
Go in there.
We got a barbershop in there
Wow.
because it was just easier for me to. Because on game days, all them dudes be trying to get cut up. It's like, yo,
And it's a lot.
I can't go
People-
there
Yep.
and be house
Yeah.
call, So me and Kat, I've been telling them for years, like, yo, we got to get a barbershop at the practice spot, because I'm seeing my homeboy in Houston, James Harden, them got a barbershop in the locker room, and all these other big stage guys, I'm like, Minnesota was kind of like behind on the culture.
It was
you know?
lacking.
Yeah.
Minnesota is.
That's one thing me and Kat were trying to change a little bit around here. So we got that up and running, and now other barbers could go in there and cut some of the Timberwolves
Wow.
that they could do.
That's big.
It's just like knocking down doors. you know,
Yeah.
like-
Different.
yeah,
different
just changing
things.
the game. Like all the old way of thinking, like it's not working anymore.
It's not. No, and that's super important. So going on to like beyond barbering, like what's some of the next businesses that you're considering, because you are at the end of the day a good businessman on top of just barbering. So what are some other businesses you're thinking of getting into or looking at right now? One thing about you I realize is you do very precise, like you take your time with things. You do precise planning.
yeah. Well, I don't know. Like one thing for sure, I feel like I'm kind of forced to. I don't know if it's forced, but because I see my influence on the barber industry, and I've put so many guys through barber school, so I think I might have to open a barber school eventually.
100%.
Yeah,
That's
like,
huge.
yeah,
That'd
it's
be
like
big.
I want to give the black and brown community like you said, we made it cool to be a barber. Like now imagine if we got a barber school out of it.
That'd be game changer.
So I'll probably say that's probably one of my future goals, honestly, like a barber school. And I always look at it like I could pat a barber shop, like I could pass it down to my kids, but it's like them kids will run that shit to the ground. They don't know how to run it.
No, it's not
But a
gonna be
barber school is like it's here forever.
It's hit,
Right.
You
more
see
longevity.
Harvard been here for years.
Yeah.
you,
Yup,
you
yup.
It's not
have been
going-
here for years. So,
It's not going anywhere.
so maybe, yeah. So I'd say maybe a barber school one day. something I could pass down to my family, and give other people opportunities to grow and feed their family, and just supplying it for the community and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like with barbershops, I don't know if I'll be opening any more barbershops because it's just like it takes a lot of work.
People
And
think it's easy.
yeah, you gotta have. I've been blessed to have the right guys around me, like my business partner, like
Mm-hmm.
Nathan Sheffra.
Yeah,
Like
shout out to Nathan, by the way.
He's really smart, so it's good. Like I can only do like deals like that with people that's like on that type of mindset. But
Mm.
yeah, barbershops are really hard to run because there's really like no structure in it.
Yeah,
It's not
it's
like it's not like the corporate world where
yeah.
like I gotta worry about telling the barber to be on time, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like these guys, I don't know, there's like no structure in it, so you
There's-
can't talk to them in a certain way.
So, what are some of the negatives of owning a barbershop? Because people don't see that backside.
Yeah.
Everyone just see the glamorous things,
Yeah.
and they see this. What are some of the bad things about it?
Where I've been blessed to where I built my brand up. Like, the Akway's brand is pretty big now. And so it's just not like, it's like if you're a barber and you want to make money right away and, get clientele, Akway Sports Barbershop is a place to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I would preach to any new barber. It's just like build your brand. So like at the end of the day, you won't need to focus. You won't need to rely on the Akway brand for clientele.
Mm-hmm.
You could rely like
Yourself.
like y'all OD your barber. I told him he just moved here from Wisconsin actually,
Yep.
Madison, and I told him, yo, you're here. You're the youngest, the flyest.
Yeah.
You got your brand already. OD Cuts. I need you to build that brand so you could take it anywhere with you. A lot of owners, they don't want you to be able to grow.
Leave.
They like me. I'm confident in myself. You
Yeah.
could come.
come do
you
your
could
thing.
come do your thing. We make money together. Do
We
your
make-
thing. I'm gonna help you get your own shit. You
That's
know?
smart.
Like I'm not the type to like hold you hostage. Like, but I feel like when dudes do that, they lack confidence in their
Confidence.
brand.
Right.
Like,
That's
like yo,
very
you could
important.
come and bring something to the table here. And when you leave, I'm still gonna be good because I know the work I put in.
work is gonna
and,
be
and that's what I'm trying to teach every barber. Like, build your brand so you won't need to depend on that barbershop or the walk-in traffic, especially the way things are going right now. Like, you could just market yourself on social media. You don't need to be.
You don't need to be in
at-
the shop or
Yeah,
maybe
you don't
like
need
you.
to be at a high traffic like walk-in.
Right,
You
right.
just post a haircut, you'll see it. Yo, can I get cut?
Yo,
That's
can I
it,
get-
you
it's
know?
that simple.
Yeah,
and
it's simple now.
Power of
so.
association.
Yes. So it's just like building your brand, showing your lifestyle. Because another thing I was telling OD is like, it's you want a cool barber. You don't want no boring ass.
Right,
Like,
right.
like it's like a lifestyle brand. You know,
Yeah.
like we hoop together. So
Yeah.
it's like so you rock with me outside of barbering.
Outside of-
It's
exactly.
just like at the end of the day, it's relationships.
Relationships. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's the
And you
key.
got to realize, like, in terms of a barbershop, you got to realize, like, in our communities, like, a lot of conversations are held in barbershops. Like, you see, you're tapped into a lot of things at a barbershop. You know what's going on in the community. You know the heartbeat of the community, what people's, and so much conversations and people just, like, talk about everything at a barbershop, So people, that just goes outside of barbering, like, where, like, a barbershop is really cool and chill. Like y'all said, just hooping together, all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. That's key, and that's huge. So
That's
That's what's
super
up.
important.
Yeah.
So, question: what would if you could sit down with three people,
Yeah.
and grab lunch with them? Who would those three people be?
Grab lunch with them.
It could be anybody, and then why?
Wait, dead or alive or
Dead or alive?
they don't like
dang. I listen.
Or it could be one person.
Yeah. So I'll have to sit down with Jay-Z and
That's just a-
chop it
yeah.
up with him because like how he came in the business music industry. That's kind of like the approach I took with my barbering career. Like he believed in his rapping ability and whatnot, and then he decided like in this song he said he came in the game with like 90,000. He started out his own record label with 90,000. So I was like I looked at
big.
that, like he didn't need to sign with Def Jam or any of that. He put up his own money, And that's kind of like what I did with my career. I was like, it's gonna cost me like 25 to 30,000 to start a barbershop. I'm gonna save up at least 30 to 40,000 to start my barbershop, just so like I don't gotta like I'm putting it all in, you know. What Nip say? All money in.
All money in.
Yep. So I was putting all money in. So I would. That's one reason why I'll probably talk to Jay-Z, because I always see like what he do with his business moves and stuff like that. Just like believing in yourself. Like when you got, let's say when you know your value and like what's the word? Like you got so much more like leverage, you know. Like when you know how much you're worth.
Your worth.
Like I'm gonna come to you like, hey, I know what I'm bringing to the table, so you can't try to trick me, and you know. So it's like, so when you focus on like your talent first. And then everything else is gonna fall, you know. Like
100%.
you could do business with anybody because they need you more than you need them.
Facts. And you know how Jay-Z, that's one of the famous lines that Jay-Z said. He said that, you know, I go into every room like myself. I don't ever try to change who I am. This is the same way I talk, the same way I like what I dress, wear, everything. It's the same me. You're not gonna get like a different version. I'm not gonna suit up just to get into a meeting.
Exactly.
You know, so
we
that's
call
the
that tap dancing. You don't want to be tap
You
dancing.
know what I mean? Tap dancing. You gotta be your
It's
original
like
self.
y'all called me. Y'all want to do business. Come on. I know what I'm bringing to the table. I don't got to do business with y'all. I can do this on my own.
Literally,
Facts.
that's smart. That's when people when you understand like when you understand like your value or what you bring to the table, people can't try to just you know like
so they got to move different.
yeah, and that's very important because that falls under believe in yourself. A lot of people don't believe in themselves enough, right? They have that doubt in the back of their heads that what if? What if is because the thing is what we think about is not reality. We be making them so much stories in our head. It's actually so much worse. And I'll be like, no, it's actually not that bad. Like, and so many people need to understand you have to believe in yourself. Before you achieve, you must believe. That's with everything. Like you can't just achieve something without believing it. So I'm glad you really mentioned that to them and the people that are listening, you know, especially like anyone that's thinking of being a barber. You know, we brought the best in the game. Tell you guys the secrets, the ins and outs, you know. So no, go ahead and let people know where they can find you, where they can find your business.
Okay, so the other barbershop, Akway Sports Barbershop, one location is in Mounds View, 2436 County Highway 10. You know, it's over there. And the new location we just opened in Uptown is 3015 Lindale Avenue, South Minneapolis, right there next to Up Down. You know, y'all come through. At the second location, we're only doing appointments only. At the first location, you could do a walk-in and all that. So, you know, catch us over there. Book me through my social media. It's Akeem Akway at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, all that. We got new merch coming through.
New merch.
New merch, you know.
Yes, sir. That's with fire hoodies and
some fire
new
hoodies.
hoodies, all that. I'm trying to learn the e-commerce game,
We
man.
got
Y'all
you. We got you. We gonna put you on.
you.
No, but you just mentioned something before we wrap up. I want to talk about that because, yo, that's genius. The merch. Hold on. We didn't even bring that up in this podcast. Let's get into that real quick, right? So what was the mindset behind having people rock like your merch? You know, it's not like normal that people wear other barbers on there like as normal as normal. Like let's be honest,
we
you know that's not.
See, they gotta give me more credit because I changed the game,
Bro,
man.
they gotta give you more credit.
You got,
let me just let's go a little bit into that because that's actually insane. People do not think of it because people would wear like Nike. You know, that's something you could wear. That's I'm seeing people with Akway hoodies like his Nike.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
hey,
so what's the how did that happen? That was not easy.
And not only just regular people, celebrities, and like athletes is rocking it just casually.
You gotta with the colorways y'all be mixing and everything.
Crazy.
So what's that about, man?
This one I knew we was on. So, hey, I was in Amsterdam and some old white man recognized the hoodie I was wearing.
Yo, that's huge.
Global.
International.
Yo, and then me and Nate, we was on vacation in Cancun, Mexico. Some kid run up to me like, "Yo, you're Akway with the hoodie though."
Yo, that's legendary.
If that's not branding.
Yeah, so I'm like, damn, is that and you know, just giving it to like my celebrity homeboys and
Mm-hmm.
shit like that. I just knew like, and it's just like a regular logo, you know, but just
Mhm.
like
It means more.
looks
than that,
fire,
you know,
yeah.
because it means like hanging out the. People think of hanging out the barber shop,
Yeah.
you know, kicking it.
yeah, branding is
it's-
everything, bro.
Mhm.
And even like if you see, I got the Akway logo inside of the barbershop too,
Mhm,
because I know when you come in there, you're gonna be Snapchatting.
Yeah.
It's in the back of your
Yeah.
Snapchat,
Yep.
Instagram, all that. It's just like little easy stuff like that. But a lot of people don't want to put money behind.
That's the
like-
thing. They don't want to invest in themselves and their own
Investing
brands
in
and
their
stuff.
brand. That's actually no. That's one thing that like had me surprised. People be wearing your hoodies to the gym, to the
Yeah.
like. I'm like, yo, you building designer brands now, you know?
And that's a one huge key that Akeem just dropped. If y'all don't not listening, like, you know, if you're not willing to invest in your brand, don't expect others to invest in your brand and just come to you. Like that's just a fact.
That's
It's not gonna happen. You know.
'Cause they see, like you said, presentation is everything.
Yup.
Mhm.
So if you come to my shop, all the chairs look clean. You know,
Yup.
It's not
the
no-
light, yeah. You know, I put money into it, so
Yup.
so you gotta respect it. You know.
That's very important. Some barbers they don't be caring. It be
Yeah.
looking bad in there and
Yeah.
everything, you
They're
know.
not,
But
they're not sweeping the floors and none of that. Like,
but then
it's-
people not wearing their hoodies. Yeah, people not wearing their hoodies. So that's insane. Let them know where they can get the merch when it drops.
The merch, you could just contact me on my social media, Akeem Akway on Instagram, or you could just come pick it up at the barbershop, the Mons View location, or the Uptown location.
We gotta get you. We gotta get them an e-commerce store, man. We gotta
Yeah,
get them on the
yeah,
e-commerce.
yeah.
All right.
I heard that's where the money at right now.
Now we're gonna get you on. All right, y'all. This is my boy Akeem Akway came through for
Appreciate
the
you
Top
coming
Figure
on.
podcast.
Yeah.
We talked about very important things: celebrity barbering, how barbering is changing the game, branding, importance of marketing yourself. All
Yeah.
these things in this episode. This is brought to you by Top Figure Academy, the #1 branding academy for building your brand online. Go to topfigureacademy.com and we'll see you on the inside. We're
Yeah.
out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,